Hi, we are back right here in Times Square, the crossroads of the world.
And today, it's the intersection of sweet music and big-time talent.
That's true. We're coming to you live with part 2 of the hottest show in town, at least for today.
I think so.
I'm Josh Zepps.
I'm Rachel Zallis, and welcome back to the Style Series presented by Diet Coke.
Hi there. Today's show, it's a biggie, ain't it? It's a biggie. One of my favourite stars is in the house this afternoon.
That's right, Edward Norton. I'll be sitting down with him to talk about his memorable work in Hollywood, but most of all, his fitness challenge he's using to represent an amazing cause.
Yeah, and that's not all. I recently sat down with singer-songwriter Michelle Branch. When she was in New York, she was showcasing her current work out here. We're going to be bringing you an exclusive sneak preview of the talented pop star's new single, and that's only right here on the Style Series presented by Diet Coke.
This really is a star-studded affair.
Absolutely. You know, earlier today on our noontime show, Rachel and I recapped some of our favourite moments from the past year of the Style Series.
That was fun.
Let's not forget your favourite star from the noon show, right?
Oh yeah, Robin Thicke.
No, not Robin. No, not Robin Thicke. Someone else who was there? Huh?
Oh, Hilary Duff,
no,
my fellow
no, a
blonde.
guy. It was a guy on the noon show.
Oh yeah, Tom Colicchio.
No, a young guy with brown hair and a charming smile.
Oh yeah, Fierce, Christian Siriano.
No, he was a good guy with brown hair and a smile and an Australian accent and who was wearing a red shirt who's talking to you right now.
I see where you're going. Okay, you.
Oh, shucks, I never would have guessed. I'm your favourite star? Really?
Well, kind of you were the fourth, but...
Well, you know, hey, your words, not mine. You can't take it back now. I think I did quite a job in our brand new segment that I like to call Josh Zepps Feeds the People.
Actually, I'd say that was thanks to Diet Coke and award-winning chef Tom Colicchio.
Yeah, but I was there. I was
that's
helping.
Right. Out on the street. So many people came by for that.
I know.
Handing out a free lunch to our lucky fans in Times Square. Great tasting sandwiches from the ever-popular Good Food on the Go restaurant, Witchcraft, along with Diet Cokes from our sponsor.
It was tasty. Look at me there. I'm eating. Oh, it was so delicious.
I know, you were really enjoying that.
They actually were really good. It was ham and avocado sandwiches, and I got stuck into them. Leaving that for now, soon we're going to be turning our dials to a much anticipated performance by Michelle Branch. But first, we turn not to music, but to movies and a marathon. Award-winning actor Edward Norton is running the New York Marathon for charity and doing a whole lot more. He is here in the studio with us to tell us all about it. First, here's a little get to know ya. On your mark, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you pumped?
I'm
You're
pumped.
primed?
I'm ready to go.
Get set. Go.
The lights of Broadway parted this afternoon for one of the brightest stars who's ever stopped by our Times Square studio, award-winning actor Edward Norton. An accomplished star of stage and screen, Norton actually started his acting career off-Broadway, but in 1996 he launched his memorable film career in the thriller Primal Fear. Starring opposite Richard Gere, Norton's first major Hollywood role earned him a Golden Globe. He was also nominated for his first Oscar. Ever since, Norton's been noted for the diversity of his roles as a character actor and as a leading man. On screen, he's waged passionate fights in open court and in dark, secret basements. He's been a gambler down on his luck, a small-time crook, and a big green superhero. In 1998, Norton was hailed for his daring performance as a redeemed neo-Nazi in the striking drama American History X. That scored him his second Academy Award nomination. Meanwhile, Norton's worked on both sides of the camera, making his directorial debut with the 2000 movie Keeping the Faith. This year, he's starring in a film, writing a screenplay, and serving as executive producer for the HBO documentary By the People, chronicling the historic election of Barack Obama. Not only is Norton an accomplished actor and filmmaker, but he's also earned raves for his numerous charitable works, including most recently a Global Environmental Citizens Award for his commitment to environmental issues. These days, he's taking his activism to the streets. He'll run the 2009 New York City Marathon to raise support and awareness for the Maasai Wilderness Conservation Trust. Clearly, Norton's a star who truly loves to act.
Here's Rachel with Hollywood's Marathon Man for 2009, Edward Norton. Rach.
Thanks, Josh. Edward Norton, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Now, you're running a marathon. Big, huge. How you
I feel good. I when you train for something like this, you go through kind of like moments where you feel really confident, and then you hit a new kind of a wall, and suddenly you feel panicked again. And but I think I'm right where I want to be.
Right. So the training's going well.
It's been going well. Yeah, I had bouts with shin splints. I had a pulled heel, but I feel on top of it now.
Okay,
I feel as ready as I'm gonna feel, I think.
Right. Well, I hope so, since it's in a few days.
Yeah, Sunday.
Now you're doing it for an amazing cause. It's the Maasai Wilderness Conservation Trust. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why it's so important to you?
This is an organization working in Kenya to preserve African ecosystems by working with traditional communities like the Maasai community in Kenya. This organization, I really like it because it's doing conservation work, environmental conservation work, in a way by helping people get sustainable benefits. So it's not just pushing people out of natural areas, but working with people who need to be the long-term protectors of an area to make sure they're benefiting.
Right. Well, that's so important, and I mean that's a cause that's obviously very near and dear to you.
It is. I've been I'm the head of the board of this organization now for a few years, and I've been very active in fundraising. And this year we thought that instead of dinner parties and all that kind of stuff, we wanted to do something more dynamic. We wanted to involve the Maasai guys who we worked so closely with in Kenya. And so the Kenyans are great runners. The Maasai are very proud of their warrior culture and of the men doing strong things.
I love
for
it.
the
And
community.
you actually got to go to Kenya and run.
I did,
with
yeah.
some of the Maasai. That must have been even more special for you to be there and actually be able to run with them.
It was great. It was great.
Oh.
Here you can see here. It's not exactly the streets of New York. You're kind of dodging dodging thorn trees, getting out of the way of buffalo. That's me desperately trying to keep up with.
I like the hairband.
Yeah, Maasai. Those are my shades. Those are
Those are shades. Are very cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you can navigate that terrain, you're definitely going to be fine on Sunday.
Yeah, although it's funny, over there, I'm terrified of like lion prints or buffalo coming out from around the bush, and these guys here think that the New York taxis are at least as dangerous as any buffalo.
It's so much scarier,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Now, is this their first time in New York?
Well, the president of our trust, who's here with us today, Samson Parashina, he's been to New York a few times representing the organization as the leader of it.
Right.
But two of the guys who are running the race with us, it's their first time out of their community.
That must be crazy.
Yeah.
What has that been like for them?
I think it's been fascinating. I mean, for all the differences, I think they've adapted to it very well. I think we're going to go bowling this week. Not sure why.
Really? Bowling is top of the list.
Yeah.
I love it in New York.
Yeah.
But we actually have a really cute moment when you first were driving then into the city. You were in Greenwich Village, and it's very sweet. Actually, let's take a look at this clip of you with the Maasai.
Sure.
A few of your Maasai.
This area, this neighborhood in the town, it's called the Village. I know it's not like Iltalal Village, but this is called the Village. They call this area the Village.
It's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks very different from our village, though.
It does. Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, I guess the connotation of village is very different in different places.
Yeah, I think our village probably has, 250,000 people in it. Theirs has about 4,000.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, we also are fortunate today to have one of the Maasai runners with us today. I believe it's Samson.
Yeah, Samson
And he
Parashina.
is in our audience with Josh. So Josh, would love for you to get some questions in there.
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Rachel. Samson, you are a Maasai warrior.
Yes, I'm a Maasai warrior from Kenya. That is in East Africa, southern Kenya.
And how many people in your village?
We are about 7,000 people, 400 square miles.
Right, and now there are 40,000 people, more than 40,000, doing the New York City Marathon. So the scale of things here is a bit different from back home.
Very much different. I cannot imagine being in a crowd of 42,000 people compared to people who are living in a reserve of 280,000 acres. That is really shocking to me at the first place.
Well, you'll find out soon enough. Now, how important is this particular charity and Edward's work for your village and for your tribe?
I think this is very important running this marathon. The story behind, all the goals behind are very important. And obviously, we have been doing several programs in the community. We help saving or preserving our land. We have several programs that we are running. We have a lion conservation program similar to what is happening in here in America, Yellowstone National Park with the Wyoming Rangers and the wolves. The similar thing we are doing, the compensation program to lions and trying to save the number of lions in Africa or in a place that we are working because they are becoming endangered. That is part of conservation. Also, we run education program and health program together, and we are also getting conservancy. We try
And
to.
I mean, I think the great thing about this charity also is that all those issues that you're talking about, the conservation of wildlife and the respect for the environment, these are issues that also face us here. I mean, these are universal issues. They're not just obviously African issues. So we might see them more vividly, I guess, in a village like yours, and we can put them out of our minds if we live in New York, but they're global things. I think that's really something important. What was it like to train with Edward here in New York City?
Was very nice for us. It's great.
He's an okay guy? He treats you well?
It treats very well, even though the culture is very different from what we are doing, the life, but this marathon and the goals that we have for the foundation had put us together. Edward has been really a very good friend of ours. When he comes to Kenya, I guide him, I take him game viewing, we call safari. And now he's taking me New York Safari.
Yeah, okay. You can see, you get to see all the hobos and the homeless people in New York City. He gets to see the lions. That's
Yes.
great. Well, welcome to New York, and I hope you have a great marathon. So good luck with it all. Rach, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Wow, what's it like for you to go through this whole experience through his eyes? Like it's almost like a new sense of
It's
wonder.
great. Not only do these guys see things in a way that puts them into a new perspective, but together we're all looking at the city through the lens of this race now.
Right.
So we drove, I've gone back and forth over the bridges 10,000 times in the last 20 years, and when we did it together the other day, it was the first time I've ever looked at a bridge as a big hill. Like, like we came over the Queensboro Bridge and I was like, my God, that's gonna be horrible. That's just gonna be an incredible hill to have to run over.
Definitely puts a new perspective on it, doesn't it? And how can people get involved to support you in the cause?
We've set up a very dynamic website. You can visit us at MaasaiMarathon.com, or you can Google me in the New York Marathon, and you'll find our site. We have 30 runners on our team, including the 3 Maasai guys and myself. Alanis Morissette is running with us, David
cool,
Blaine, people like that. And
He's going to be doing like card tricks along
Exactly,
the way to
all
keep
along
you
the
guys
way.
entertained.
Yeah. So you can select any of the runners and sponsor us. We're encouraging people, especially young people, to contribute even $10 or $20 to kind of strengthen numbers and support this effort and these runners by sponsoring us on the page. You can also follow me on Twitter, which I've never done before. It's been kind of an experiment.
I don't see you as like the Twitter type.
Not the Twittering type, but it's been a lot of fun. We decided we would just Twitter about our marathon training and about the Maasai guys' experience. And the response has been really actually hilarious. We've gotten people, suggesting music to us to run by.
You need a really good playlist to really pump you up and get your energy going.
And the thing is, you sometimes, like if it's a 3-hour, 4-hour race, you need more so that you can, mix it up and shuffle it up. So people have been submitting their favorite songs. People have been asking the guys questions about their experiences, and I have to say, more than I thought, it's been fun, the Twitter.
I'd love to take a look. I bet you have like Miley Cyrus and stuff on there.
Yeah, that's who I'm following. Definitely.
I bet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in addition to running for the marathon, the whole 26 miles and all, what other kind of things do you do in your life to stay healthy, to stay in shape?
It's funny because doing something like the marathon refocuses you on what you're putting into yourself, for sure. But I think, I'm lucky. I live in New York, and in New York, strangely, even though it's a city, it's actually an extremely easy place to eat in a very healthy way.
Right.
Like to focus on eating local foods, organic foods, eating seasonally. I mean, the markets here are amazing, and so I focus a lot on eating. I'm a sugar addict, so
right here.
Yeah, right, yeah. Like,
What's your weakness?
Everything. I should be in 12-step for it, seriously. So that's like a constant battle. But I do think that I think exercise is pretty key for me. Even when I'm not training for a role or training for something like this, I think it totally affects my mood and my energy.
Right. What is it that you do sort of on a day-to-day basis? Like when you get home at night, you're so busy, you're tired. What recharges you? Like, is it yoga? Is it some you eat? I mean, is there just anything you can share with us?
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say at the end of the day, because I wish I was the kind of person who woke up in the morning early and got my run in or did whatever. I've never been a morning person. I think it's from a life in the theater. You know, I stay up late and I get up late. So I do tend to do things sort of between the day and the night. It helps me break up the day and kind of relax before the night. I like yoga a lot. I used to do martial arts and kind of replaced that with yoga over the years. I find that really settles me and gives me a lot of energy.
Right. What kind, like, kind of?
I used to study Aikido, which was I loved. But yoga's great. I like biking in the city, running in the city. People don't think of New York as a good running city, but it really is, actually.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. You know, especially when you can like see all the sights around, it definitely keeps your mind occupied while you're running.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to all these, sporting activities and such, you're also one of our finest actors that we have. Enjoyed so many of your films. How important is sort of the body transformation? Like, staying physically fit, transforming yourself from role to role?
Well, it really depends. I mean, I definitely think that the role dictates to you what you need, whether you need to do something physical for it. Some things that's less of a priority than others. I mean, you were showing like something like American History X, like
that's one of my favorites.
Thanks, but that's in something like that, it's an enormous part of what defines the character. It's part of his whole psychology of the way he looks at himself. So if you shortchange that, you're really going to miss an opportunity, I think, to express this person in a non-verbal way. Other things, it's less important. But I definitely find with certain roles, like like The Painted Veil or something, I had in my mind that this guy is a very uptight person, and I wanted him to be thin,
Right.
thin and narrow and kind of stiff. And so sometimes what you do to your body can be a good way into finding your way into a character,
You've played so many characters that are sort of like likable bad guys. Is there something about that really draws you in?
I don't know. It's funny that I have that rep. My family, my friends think that's like the funniest thing ever, because that other people will come up and like treat me like I'm a tough guy or something. My brother's like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Like,
well, he does think you're a martial artist.
Yeah,
so.
but I don't know. I don't ever consciously go at a type. I tend to like things that are complicated. So sometimes those are darker characters. I don't know. I like it all. I mean, Death to Smoochie was like one of my favorite movies I ever made, because we just laughed the whole entire time. And the pink rhino suit was definitely one of my finest moments. I do. I have it tucked away in the garage.
Oh, really? Yeah. So what is it mostly that tempts you in terms of taking a role?
I think if it's something that I'm not familiar with, that's like a type of thing that I haven't done before. I think if I get a sensation when I read it that I'm not right for it, or that it's going to be very, very difficult for me, then sometimes that draws me in. Like I did this film, The Illusionist, about the magician, and when I was reading it, like, he was described in such a dramatic way, and these performances he gave on stage were described as so hypnotic and everything, and I really don't see myself that way at all. And I thought I don't look like this guy's described, and doing these performances would be very, very difficult to get them right. So then I was like, well, let's see if I can pull that off.
Right. What kind of movies do you like to see? Because I think of you, you're such a great, serious actor. But do you have like guilty pleasures?
Guilty? Not even guilty. I'm a comedy junkie. I'm a sucker for The 40-Year-Old Virgin, or knocked up like anybody else. I think.
Great films.
Yeah, great films. I think. No, let's see. What have I seen lately? I thought The Hurt Locker was really, really great. I don't know if you saw that this
I haven't, but
year.
I heard it's
very,
amazing.
very, very strong film.
Now, you're not just an actor, too. You're a writer and producer and director. You've done so much, and I know you have a bunch of projects coming up. Anything you can tell us about?
Well, we produced a film about the election of Barack Obama, about his campaign. We had this incredible opportunity to be the only documentary crew that was actually allowed to film inside his campaign. And that comes out on November 3rd, 2 days after the marathon.
I saw it. It's amazing. Everybody has to go out and watch
On HBO. That's a very that's the next thing that's coming up for us.
Okay, great. I look forward to that. Edward Norton, thank you so much for being
Pleasure.
here. Round of applause. Now, ordinarily I would say break a leg,
Yeah,
but I
break a
guess
leg
this
is
time
not
I'm not going to say
Yeah,
that.
and I wanted to say to you, Samson and I brought you, since this is a style show, we brought you some Maasai
Thank
style.
you. Oh my gosh, I love that.
These we thought
They
these
go
would-
perfectly with
yeah.
my ensemble.
Yeah, the Maasai are probably one of the most stylish tribes on the planet.
I saw
and
from
so, yeah.
Samson. Well, I
so
really appreciate
there's
this.
a
I'm
little
going to wear
Maasai
these
style.
all the time, and good luck on Sunday. Josh, back to you.
Thanks, Rach. Well, you got a gift. What I get, Edward? Nothing. I got nothing. There you go. Some thanks. Thanks to Edward Norton, of course, and good luck running the city. Now, what would the Style Series be without a musical treat? So before we go, we turn to a very sweet and self-assured artist. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's a terrific talent. She recently came to Manhattan to perform an intimate showcase I was lucky enough to attend, and we have an exclusive, just for you, this is only available to Style Series viewers, a preview of the first single of her new album, Everything Comes and Goes. Ladies and gents, here's Michelle Branch with Sooner or Later.
This next song that we're going to play is my new single off the new record. Thank you. And it's kind of my favorite topic to write about. Girl likes boy more than boy likes girl. And let's face it, I wouldn't have a career if there wasn't that topic to write about. And here it goes, never ending. This is Sooner or Later. Lipstick, pretty face, and maybe you'll notice something different about me. Different about me, yeah. You talk all you want, you pour your heart out, but you'll never do see me. Ooh, I can't wait forever for you. Sooner or later, you're gonna come around. You won't be sorry when you figure out that was always everything that you needed. Sooner or later, you're gonna wish you had me. Yeah, you're gonna wish you had me. Well, she don't do nothing for you but miss you. Yeah, she misses you. I'm your shoulder, I'm a quick driver trying to fix your stuff. Well, I give up. Ooh, you'll never see me stealing right in front of you.
singing Sooner or Later. Alas, now of course, it is that time we hate, when we have to say later.
It's a little sooner than I'd like.
Oh, see what you did? Later, sooner or later.
Thanks.
Man, we're good with the puns. Thanks to all our guests today. Remember, you can catch a special preview of Michelle Branch's new single, Sooner or Later, exclusively at dietcoke.com/style series. We'll also be posting highlights featuring Edward Norton and the rest of today's show.
And if you like great taste, great music, and great stars, keep an eye out for upcoming episodes of the Style series presented by Diet Coke. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Yeah.